This is Sports Social Club with Alex and Jess. I'm Jess.
I'm Alex.
And today we're going to start off with talking about the playoffs and more specifically the hockey playoffs.
Yes, NHL playoffs have started. Today is officially day 2. Yesterday we had two round 1, game 1 matchups. The Blues and the Jets, which was close for a while. I think the Blues were up 3-2 going into the third. Jets came back, tied it up, and then decided to take off and then ended up winning 5-3, which the Jets they won the President's Trophy, if I'm correct. Yep, number 1 team in the league coming into the playoffs, so kind of expected them to win that first game. If they didn't, I'd be like, okay, what's going on here? I didn't watch it. I just saw the score.
Yeah, I was watching the score.
Yeah, that was about it. Didn't care about that one. But then, unfortunately, we had round 1, game 1 of the Dallas Stars and the Colorado Avalanche, and our Dallas Stars did not do so good.
They're awful. They're awful.
There was a stat during the game, so I didn't watch all of it. I was working during part of it, so I missed the first period, but there were no goals, so didn't miss anything there. And then I listened to some, towards the end of the second period, and then I watched the third. So final score was 5-1, which does not really kind of tell exactly what happened during that game.
Yeah.
Because it was Colorado scored one crazy goal where it was just kind of deflected off this guy's skate as he was falling. So that was really unfortunate. Then Av scored a power play goal. Of course, understandable. Then Stars scored a power play goal. I was like, okay, here we go. Ignite the fire. Let's go. So it's 2-1. And that's in the third period. And then the Colorado scores again. And then the Stars okay, well, now we got to pull our goalie because we got to get another goal. Score an empty netter, 4-1. And then I don't know what happened. Terrible hockey. And they scored again, 5-1 to end the game.
Yep. It was miserable. We could not hit to save our life. We couldn't win a face-off. I mean, it was just all over bad. We were at a wedding watching this shit, and I mean, we had phones out. Everyone had their phones out watching this. I don't know why they chose to get married when they knew that the Stars could be in the playoffs, but we were all watching. I mean, it's literally you could see the life leave the room every time the Avalanche scored. It's so miserable.
So
we're playing terrible hockey.
To be fair, Miro Heiskanen still out, but update, he is now day to day. So could be getting back the best defenseman, arguably in the league, but definitely on the Stars.
Yeah.
Tyler Seguin recently came back. I don't feel like he's made a difference at all.
No.
But
he could have stayed out. It would have been nothing ever happened.
And unfortunately, Jason Robertson recently got hurt and is now week to week. So lost one of our significant forwards. Still missing a defenseman. I'm really hoping he comes back this series, if not next game. I mean, they say he's day to day, so he could come back on tomorrow's game. Hopefully he does. If not, hopefully the next game after that. Gabriel Landeskog not playing yet. But props to him. He was a healthy scratch during the game last night. So that's some improvement for him.
That's good for them.
But
I bet you they save him for the third game for when they go back home.
Yeah. For his Colorado reunion, you could say. When I was watching that game, they put a stat on the screen that Dallas has lost the first game of the Stanley Cup playoffs for the last 7 times that they have been in the playoffs.
Oh my God.
So now it's 8. Now it's 8 times.
Awesome.
They can't win game 1.
Awesome. That's great.
Which I'm how many of those times have they been at home for game 1? Probably a decent amount.
I'd say probably more than half.
Yeah.
That's insane.
What are we doing?
Insane.
So I'm hoping they, ignite the fire in themselves, get it going for game 2 tomorrow. I will be able to watch more of it because it's a little bit later. It's an hour later, and I won't be working as late, so I should be able to watch more of it. I think they need me.
I gotta love when it's later and later.
Yeah, 8:30 start for you. Not great. 6:30 start for me.
And it's at home at 8:30
I know.
start.
That's very surprising.
Insane when people do that.
It's it's not an 8:30 start in Denver. It's 8:30 in Dallas.
And 8:30 on a Monday night.
Right.
That's death. You're asking for Dallas fans not to be hype.
which based off the game yesterday, they were not going to be hyped going into the game.
Not at all.
unless Miro is like, hey, they announced that he's playing, there might be some hype. But if he's not playing, then they're just like, this is game over. So
miserable.
That's unfortunate there, but hockey playoffs, best of 7, so we've got time to make it up as long as they get it together. I don't remember. I think they were saying something when they were talking about that stat of losing 7 game ones in a row. I think they were talking to maybe Duchesne or something, like using a quote from Duchesne, and it was like along the lines of like, we can fall into this, I guess we can keep doing this, but it's like, I'd like to win. I'd like to win the first one, but I guess it's nice to know we can still come out of it if we lose game 1, because even though they do lose game 1, they do make it out of round 1 typically decently. So it would have been nice to start off with a win instead of having to crawl back from behind. But
this is gonna be
and then there's 3 more series that start today. I don't remember which ones they are.
Devils, Hurricanes. I'm looking at them. Devils, Hurricanes, Senators, Maple Leafs, Wild, Golden Knights. That'll be a beatdown. The Golden Knights are going to destroy the Wild.
But Marc-Andre Fleury retiring, so his
big time
last ride. So
future Hall of Famer.
Good for him. So other than that, nothing significant to talk about in hockey playoffs right now. What's going on in the NBA?
In the NBA, we got currently the Thunder are playing against Memphis Grizzlies, and the score is 115-67, and that is the start of the 4th.
Wow. Yes. So, if you're watching this podcast, you can see Jess has the game going on in the background.
I have the game on. I got the shirt on. I'm ready. I'm hyped. Fuck the Mavs. Sorry. Y'all wish y'all could be here.
I saw something the other day. I don't know if it was actually true or not, but it was like the Mavs were eliminated from playoff contention 77 days after Luka was traded. And I was like, insane. And that's his number. So I was like, that's insane. That's so sad.
I'm not going to lie, though. I was terrified when the Grizzlies were going to have to play the Mavs for the play-in. I was terrified because the Thunder are 4-0 against the Grizzlies in the regular season. They are 1-3 against the Mavs. They've only won 1 game this year, and that was with Luka playing. Like, they have lost 2 of them were without Luka. Like, so I was like, oh, we could still lose to the Mavs if it came down to it. So I'm very happy. We're playing the Grizzlies. Life's good. I need the Lakers to lose so that we don't have to play Luka and LeBron.
Who are the Lakers playing?
They were playing. Oh my God, did I saw it yesterday too. They're playing the Timberwolves. Oh yeah, Anthony Edwards. He went crazy.
Got it. Is this game 1 for the Thunder right there?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's a good game 1. It's a good game 1. But yeah, so other than that, there's really no big matchups that are like just amazing. I mean, like Celtics are playing the Magic later on, and that Celtics are going to win that series. He's playing the Cavs. Cavs are going to. It's interesting. Like the NBA, it's like it's every year. It's like the East is really good or the West is really good. This year, the West is really good, and the East looks like shit. And so you could tell who the best teams are versus who's like not. They just don't deserve to be there. And so So the West is where it's like really terrifying. You're like, God, I just want to make it out and get to the finals, but. Yeah, so it's an interesting time, and go Thunder. Thunder up.
Go. Is the NBA playoffs the same as hockey where it's always best of 7, or do they do best of 5 at first and then go best of 7?
Best of 7.
Best of 7 for all rounds?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Nice. So literally the exact same.
Yep. Exact same. And you do the 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1.
2, 2, yeah. 2, 2,
1, 1, 1. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Yep.
Other than that, those are our big playoff news. Last Sunday was the final day of the Masters. We had mentioned when we were doing the podcast, because we had recorded before the Masters has finished. I believe you and Cody both said that Rory was going to choke and lose, not going to win, which, to be fair, he almost did. He missed that putt there at the end, which if he had gotten it, he would have won. And he missed it, very close, and so then he had to go to a playoff against Justin Rose. And I walked in. I think I was at the store working out or something. I don't know. I walked in, and Cody was like, "This putt right here, if Rory gets it, he wins, and if he loses, he goes to a playoff. And I was like, okay, let's see. Missed it. I was like, oh my gosh, unbelievable. And then I was like, okay, so who's he going against? Justin Rose. And I was like, I don't know anything about either of these guys, but I guess Justin Rose, if he won, he would have been the oldest person to win a Masters for the first time.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, so I was going for Justin Rose.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Didn't work out for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, and I feel bad for the guy. He's been in the top 2 of the Masters, like almost like runner up 3 times now.
Yeah, and Cody said I think he went to a playoff last year. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, what the heck? Like, this dude, I feel so bad for him. I feel bad for his wife because I'm sure she's like, can't you just win 1 Masters for us? Like this dude.
It's a lot of money.
Sad. It's a lot of money. It's sad that he just can't get that green jacket. But no, I was praying. I'm sorry to anyone that loves Rory, but I was praying for him to choke just so I could be like, ha, he did it again. But congrats to him.
But Bryson DeChambeau did. And because he was doing decently well up until that point. I think we were talking about it. And then all of a sudden he had a horrible day.
So mad. I lost so much money on that dude. That was bad. I know. Don't bet. Don't gamble. It was like $50, but that's a lot of money, y'all. That's a few meals.
In this economy.
It's a few meals.
It's like 2 dozen eggs.
Honestly. Maybe even just 1 dozen at this point.
Maybe depending on where you're getting them from. I was seeing so many like TikToks and stuff where, in High School Musical 2, where Zac Efron is singing Bet on It on the golf course. Mm-hmm. And they were putting Rory to that song, and it actually matched up kind of well, especially with like the very similar like choreography that Zac was doing, and then what Rory was doing when he was like all stressed when he was like running his hands through his hair and stuff. It was kind of hilarious. You should look it up. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
Like, this is what social media is for.
For real.
Anything else big that happened this last week?
No, not as far as sports go. Oklahoma State softball's looking rougher and rougher.
Oh, I did see something. Well, one, there was a game. It might have been OU, OSU, but there was one softball game recently that they were like, this was the biggest attendance in NCAA softball. But then again, earlier this week, there was another game that was like, this is the biggest attendance in NCAA softball. I'm going to look it up. I think it was a Stanford game.
Was that OU?
No, it was a Stanford game.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was weird. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can find it.
Because I know OU had the largest attendance at the beginning of the season because they have that new stadium. And then when we had Bedlam at Oklahoma City, that was,
like, this one
was huge.
Right here, it was just the other day. This was posted 20 hours ago. 13,207 people, NCAA softball attendance record. It was, they called it the Big Swing, which was the game between Stanford and Cal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's pretty cool. Where are they playing? Oh, they played in the football stadium.
That's insane.
Yeah, they turned, looks like Stanford's football stadium into a softball stadium.
That's amazing.
So that's pretty cool. That's probably why they got so many people in there.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's crazy.
Wow,
oh my God.
Awesome.
And Stanford doesn't even have their like amazing pitcher anymore. She went to Tech. So that's crazy.
One of these comments that says Oklahoma fans down tremendously.
They said.
That's funny.
Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, no, it's been
hello, the WNBA draft.
Yes,
Paige Beckers to Dallas.
Paige. We got her.
No surprise.
Yeah, and guess who didn't get drafted?
Sedona Prince.
Sorry
about you, but not
Go to
really.
prison. We don't put a domestic abuse around here.
No, neither does the WNBA.
No, thank God. I was shocked actually because, well, kind of, but she's so old. One, I mean, she's 26, so she's ancient, right? But she's not even that amazing. But they were so big on her throughout the season. Like she was gonna go like in the first round, second round. And I'm kind of surprised that she didn't, but I'm glad the WNBA was like, no, we're not going to put up with this.
I think if any WNBA team had drafted her, they were about to lose fans.
Oh,
and just like start a riot. Yeah. So I think they knew, just like outside of basketball, they knew they couldn't bring her in because of what it was going to do, like
Yeah.
media wise, and
They need all the
whatever.
fans they can get. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so big. So yeah, very happy they didn't get her.
Yeah. That's
But yeah, Paige got Dallas. It's huge, everyone. This is not as big as Caitlin Clark, of course, because Caitlin Clark is like
Nothing ever
generational, but
Yeah.
this is still like right up there, huge. And so I think it's really great for Dallas because the WNBA like fan base here is terrible. It's awful. No one wants to go to the games because it has been at UTA. And no one wants to drive to Arlington when you're from Dallas. And but now it's getting moved to downtown, and so they're hoping this will get us a bunch more fans. It's something to root for. So very exciting.
The Seattle Storm had the number 2 overall pick, and they picked. Her name is Dominique Malonga. I think
From France.
From France, number 2, and she is the first woman to officially dunk in a game.
Yep.
So she's going to be the real deal. She is the highest drafted player in France history. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting for the Storm. They had 4 picks in the game, in the draft. Yeah. So that's pretty
big
big
time. Yeah.
Because the WNBA draft is not a ton of people. They only have it's like 30 something picks or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that the Storm had 4 and number 2 overall, and then they got 3 other people. So that's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's big. She's so tall. Yeah. I'm like, it literally her and Victor Wembanyama. I'm like, why does France produce these tall freaks of nature? It's amazing. We need that in our water.
Yeah. I saw something talking about Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark. Like I think the game that is happening between the Fever and the Wings is like already expensive, or they're already moving it to another place or something.
It's at American Airlines.
Yeah, there you go.
We looked into tickets, and to sit at the top, there's 3 sections. To sit at the top on the 3rd section, it's already up to like $200.
Wow.
And we were like, we're gonna watch that from home.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, no significant things I think happened this week.
Nope.
New segment that we're starting here on the podcast called "What Are We Watching This Week?" So Jess, what are you going to be watching this week?
I'm going to be watching my Oklahoma City Thunder, but also all the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the UFL, United Football League. I know we talked about it a few episodes ago, but that's going on. And so that's typically on Saturdays and Sundays. And then I think I'm going to get into some baseball this week.
Okay.
Yeah, could try to get started early.
Nice. I am going to be watching probably some less popular things than the general population, but tomorrow is the Boston Marathon, so that will be on. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to watch it. It's probably going to be on like Peacock.
Yeah.
Peacock shows a lot of like
those marathons
races and stuff like that, so it's probably going to be on Peacock. So I'll have to look into that, but that's going to be big. Connor Mance, he ran at BYU, he ran the marathon at the Olympics. They're saying that he really has the potential to win the Boston Marathon, which would be huge because I think it's either been a really long time since an American man won the Boston Marathon, or it's never happened. My guess is it's just been a really long time.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but
yeah, it's huge.
The fact that he is like really going out there, really trying to win, that'll be good to watch. And then on Saturday is Ironman Texas, which is the North American Championships for Ironman. And Ironman is like the top level of, I guess it's not really the top level, but it's one of the highest levels of triathlon, which is something I've gotten into paying more attention to recently, and I'm doing my own triathlon later this year, not an Ironman.
Hell yeah.
But, so Ironman North American Championships on Saturday, there's a couple people that I follow on social media who like qualified and are competing, so should be interesting to watch that. And Ironman.
Where is it in Texas?
The Woodlands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So within Ironman, there's 2 kind of categories. There's Ironman 140.6, which is what people just classify as like a true, like you're doing an Ironman, which is like a full Ironman. And then there's Ironman 70.3, which is technically a half Ironman, but they just like note them by the distance. And so this is the 140.6. So for anybody who doesn't know Ironman triathlon, it is a 2.2 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and then 26.2 mile run, which is a marathon. So crazy.
God,
Yeah,
that's
I'm not
insane.
doing that, but I'll be watching. I'll be
Insane.
checking in here and there.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
not something I'm gonna watch all day. I don't have
No.
8 hours to.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like a long.
Yeah. And 8 hours is like elite.
Yeah, like you're the
Yeah.
best. Like typically I feel like people are like at like 12.
Yeah, like 10. Like I think for like non-pros, like if you can go sub 10, that's like you're really good as like a non-professional athlete. So
I'd be going 24. Not gonna lie. If that.
take some breaks in between.
We'd be taking a nap.
Yeah. You'd be like, I don't have to do the next part right now, right? Like I can just come back and do it a little bit later.
Oh God, that's tiring.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tiring, I'm sure. Maybe one day,
Yep.
but not anytime soon. You got anything else interesting?
No, just keep up with everything going on. And then we got softball and baseball college conference tournaments coming up soon. So in the next few weeks. So that'll be exciting and lead us into the World Series and the Women's College World Series.
Perfect.
Heck yeah.
We plan on having some more guests on in the future. We got some good
Yes.
feedback on our previous episode with Cody last week. So if you didn't listen to that, go check it out. Talk about some rugby. So we're going to bring on some other people, have some more guests, get to talk about maybe sports that they're more involved in, and should be a good time.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, until next time, this was the Sports Social Club with Alex and Jess. I'm Alex.
I'm Jess.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.